Hi, this is Lucien, DH7LM for Ham Radio Soul, and here are my 7 tips for learning CW. First, you do need a plan, because CW isn't really easy. It takes some effort, and just downloading an app and dabbling around with it won't cut it in this case, really. Because what usually happens is you get enthusiastic, you play around a little with one app or another, or with some learning software, find it kind of cool, and the next day or the next week you kind of peter out and you don't put in the effort that is required to learn CW. So you need a plan. It doesn't really matter what kind of plan, in my opinion. It all basically works, whether you learn the characters in this or that order. Doesn't really matter, I think. What matters is that you learn by sound, so that you already know. Everyone will tell you this. You can't learn CW just looking at the dots and dashes. This doesn't work. But other than that, it's not really important what kind of plan you have, but you do need a plan. Personally, I learned CW with the help of the book Zen and the Art of Radio Telegraphy, and I can highly recommend the book. It's really awesome, and the author has a whole method and the whole plan laid out for you. But as I said, other plans work too, but you do need to formulate the plan. You do need to formulate when you will learn which letters, when you will start practicing to send and all that. Just write it down and follow it. That's the most important thing. And this brings us to tip number 2, practice every day. No excuses. You need to practice every day, otherwise you won't learn it. And the good news is you can do it just for 15 minutes or even 10 minutes. That should be enough. Really, it doesn't take long, but you do need to practice every day, each and every single day. And trust me, it's gonna be hard, but it's just 10-15 minutes, and that's where the plan comes into play. If you have a good plan and you stick to it, then it's much easier. But you really have to make this whole thing your religion. You know, like no excuses. You know, there's always things to do, always good reasons why now you don't have time or you're too tired or whatever, but you really need to commit yourself to doing it every day for 15 minutes, even if it means you stand up earlier or go to bed later. It's really important, otherwise it won't work, trust me. Tip number 3, create peer pressure. What do I mean? It's so easy to fall off the bandwagon. It's, as I said, there's always good reasons why to stop learning CW. After all, it's not that important, right? It's just a hobby. So to motivate yourself to keep going, to practicing every day, it's a good idea to you know, use some tricks to get motivated, because you're really up against human nature here. Human nature says, oh, it's all exciting, blah blah blah, and 1 week later, there's other things to do, maybe it's not even worth it, and you come up with all these excuses. So one way to do it is creating peer pressure, and you can do that by telling your family, for example, if you have a spouse or children, tell them about your plan. Tell them, I will learn CW in 1 month or 2 months, and announce it to everyone in your life. That creates some pressure, because you don't want to disappoint them, right? You don't want to fail. You can even tell your club members, go to a bunch of club members from your ham club, preferably those who are into CW, and you know, like grandiosely announce to them, I will learn CW. In 2 months, we will be able to have a QSO, right? So this creates some pressure. They will probably ask, you know, and so no excuses. Or you can even, if you're brave, announce it on social media, you know, write a post on Facebook, tell everybody about your plan, or on Twitter or wherever you are on social media, and tell people how you will do it. Maybe you can keep them posted, you know. That's a good idea to create some additional pressure. You need that pressure, really. You will want to quit badly, so you need all the pressure you can get. Tip number 4, listen to high-speed CW in the background. This is actually fun and not so difficult. But the theory is, and I think it really works, is that if you listen to CW, even though you're not really paying attention to it, you will kind of get used to the sound, to the rhythm, to the flow, to the spacing, and that's a great thing. You will recognize some characters, and I would say go for high speed, 20 or even 25 words per minute, something like that, even more if you like. You don't have to decode all that stuff. Just listen to it in the background while doing something else, and you will probably recognize by chance a character or two here and there, but that's not really the point. The point is to get used to the sound and let your subconsciousness figure out the stuff, and it can really help. Tip number 5, probably the most important tip: be prepared to fail and pick yourself up. The thing is, it's not a matter of if you're gonna fail, but when. You will fail. That's a given. And maybe that sounds strange, but look at it this way. There will come the day where you just don't have the willpower to do the daily exercise. There will come a day where you get so frustrated that you just say, I quit, God damn it. So that's really not helpful. On the other hand, if you say like, oh no, I quit, I have enough, I can't do it, and it's so hard, or just doesn't sound interesting anymore, or whatever excuses you come up with, that's okay. This will happen. The important thing is that you then, after you accepted this kind of negative phase that you want to quit, that you then say, okay, I missed a day, I missed 2 days, I screwed up, all right, let's pick up again where I left. You know, even if you screw up big time and miss a whole week of exercises, which I don't recommend, then, you know, instead of saying, okay, I failed, let's just quit, pick yourself up. You can still do it, right? That's really important. Tip number 6, do a relaxation exercise before each session. So that's what is recommended in the book Zen and the Art of Radiotelegraphy, and I think it's really useful because listening to Morse code and decoding it and copying it, that's most of your practice, right? It takes a lot of effort, and you can easily get overly focused and overly tense, and that will only spoil the fun, and you will miss characters and you will get frustrated and all of that. So it's really helpful to do a little relaxation exercise, and it can be as simple as taking a couple of deep breaths. You know, breathe in to your belly, and you will feel how your heart rate goes down, everything looks a bit smoother, and it's really helpful. And it really helps to fighting that tension and that frustration, right? So I found that really useful. Lastly, let go and enjoy. And that's really the crux of it, right? Because it is hard work. Learning CW is hard work, but you will get a huge reward. You know, once you have that first QSO under your belt, you will feel wonderful. I guarantee you that. It's so great to go through that effort, to really put the time and energy into it, and then see the fruits. It's great. So what you should do, I think, while you're still practicing is not focusing so much on the outcome, on the glory future, but see the whole thing, the whole learning, the whole exercising, all of that, see it as part of the ham radio fun. It is, you're practicing ham radio. It's radio time. It's great fun, really. I think that's the kind of mindset you should go into, and connected with that, it's also very important when you exercise copying the letters that you don't focus too much on your errors that you make, because you will miss letters, maybe you will miss entire groups of letters, entire sentences. But if once you try to replay that in your head to correct the errors, then things start going south. You lose the flow, you lose everything. Instead, what you should do, if you miss a letter, then you just let it go and you resynchronize to the sounds, you resynchronize to the stream of characters, and you just pick up right now, like stay in the presence. And you can do that better if you let go and enjoy the process. It's a fun thing to do. Yeah, it doesn't sound like that, but it really is. Once you change your mindset and think of it as productive radio time, it's really worth it. So anyway, that was not so technical, because I think learning CW has more to do with mindset, with fighting against laziness and our human quirks, than it has to do with which app you use or which order you learn the characters or any of that. Because once you put in the effort, once you train every day for maybe 1 month or 2 months, then you'll learn the code, no problem. But the difficult thing is to stick to this schedule. And we humans, unfortunately, are notoriously bad at putting in effort on a consistent basis. It's always easy to look for the next new shiny thing, and if you're in the mood to do something, then it's easy. But, to really be consistent over long periods of time, that's damn hard, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. So I think that's the real battle you have to fight if you want to learn the code. But as I said, it's so much fun, it's great, and once you have your first QSO, even if it's sloppy and you're anxious and everything, you will feel wonderful. It's so worth it. So all the best of luck to you with learning this great mode, and enjoy the hobby. 73s. Bye bye.